Do you hate that TV show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Well, we're going to be speaking with someone today who hates it, but for a different reason than you might think. Also, are you cranky all the time? Maybe because you hate that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but are you cranky all the time? We're going to speak with the author of the book, Why Is Everyone So Cranky? Tonight on Feedback. Welcome to Feedback tonight. I'm Mark Despotakis. As I said, we're going to be speaking with some people over the phone today. First, after the break, we're going to be talking to Ellen Rohr, the author of a couple books on making your business successful. But actually, we're going to be talking a little bit about the game show craze and the lottery craze and why you all seem to enjoy that so much. And also later in the show, we're going to be talking to a woman about a book that I just couldn't wait to talk about on this show. The title is Why Is Everyone So Cranky? We're going to be talking about that later. But first of all, when we come back, we're going to be speaking with Ellen Rohr about the fad of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We'll be back on Feedback.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant. The Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant is located at 540 Main Street in Clarion and offers dining as well as a nightclub. The restaurant and nightclub are open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call the Captain Loomis Hotel and Restaurant 226-8400. This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Clarion Office Equipment. Clarion Office Equipment is located on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They can handle all your office equipment and computer needs. They are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can call Clarion Office Equipment at 226-8753.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference and taking an interest, not just earning it. At Edward Jones, it's about more than investing. It's about knowing you.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
In Clarion, see Gary Martin, located on Main Street. Phone 226-7896.
Feedback now. And I said, you know, it wasn't a better name for a movie to come out now, and I think I'm going to make the movie or write the book. It would be a great book to have, and you can call to get her book. You can also find it online. And I have a feeling I'm going to be rather opinionated, people I know. So let's ask them about scheduling. Why is the students have such a problem here with?
Tune into Feedback with Mark Despotakis every Tuesday and Wednesday night, beginning at 7:30 p.m.
We're totally out of time. No time to talk to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis. You know, if you're flipping through the channels at night, I'm sure you see game shows. You know, NBC has like, what, 21 or something. CBS was trying something and it failed. But ABC has succeeded with this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game. Got some of the highest ratings in television in the last few years. It was on like every night for a couple weeks, and now it's on every few nights. Like I think Friday they did like a special Oscars edition or something like that. Well, this might not be the best program out there. Actually, I'm boycotting it now. But some of you may be doing the same. It looks like a lot of you aren't. But today's guest tells me that it might not be the best thing for you. Ellen Rohr joins us on the phone now. And Ellen, you say Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is not the best game for America?
I want to take out a billboard anymore that says impeach Regis. I've had it. Well, and actually, you know, At first, I thought it was just mild entertainment, but I'm changing my mind. I think it's downright dangerous, and I think it reflects an obsession with this millions that's dangerous. You know, I don't think becoming a millionaire or aspiring to be a millionaire is a bad thing. On the contrary, I think it's a really good thing. But what we've lost sight of is that we have the power to do that on our own. So picture kids now graduating from high school and thinking, what are our options? What are my options? You know, as you graduate from high school and they think, well, I could go get a good job like everyone tells me I should go do for a big corporation or the government. But if I wanted to be a millionaire, I probably wouldn't get there that way. And maybe my only hope of that kind of affluence or that kind of big move up the ladder is to win a game show or the lottery or go to Vegas or bet the right amount on the horses or peel the label off the McDonald's cup. I mean, we're obsessed with this get-rich-quick via these games, and it disturbs me that we've forgotten that we can do this on our own.
So how can we do it on our own? I mean, it seems obviously, you know, going the game show route or going and buy the scratch-off lottery ticket is the easier route. How can we not go that route then?
Well, the likelihood of winning $1 million that way is so far-fetched.
Right. True.
But it looks so attainable, you know, particularly with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. The questions are really easy, and you can picture yourself right there. But I think the best way to make $1 million is this. It's a twofold process. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to discover what it is that you should be or do in this lifetime. Find your purpose. What are your gifts? You know, what combination of genetics and experience and talents do you have that the world would be well served to experience, right?
Okay.
Find your purpose. And then hang up your shingle, put yourself up in business, and make money doing it. And it could be a combination of things. Perhaps your purpose is, you know, something that you don't see yourself making millions of, but you can then generate income in your life through a combination of investments or products or multi-level marketing or real estate, whatever. But the shift is this. You take responsibility for creating that yourself. You're not at the effect of the game show gods to deem you worthy enough for $1 million. And if you were to set your sights on $1 million and then be creative in your approach to, you know, how would you get that, I think that would be a really admirable way to become a millionaire. In fact, Jim Rohn, who's one of my favorite self-help business authors, he said, becoming a millionaire is a great goal, not for the $1 million, but for what it will make of you to become a millionaire, what lessons you'll learn, what power you will gather back to yourself. You know, I really am indicting the educational system and parents and for letting it happen, but we don't teach kids anything about business when they're in school. And that's through the college level, which I think is just fascinating. I graduated with a degree in business administration. And then looking back on it, none of my teachers ever had a business. And none of what I learned in college, and I loved my professors, and I got a great education all around. But as far as applying these bare-bones basics that I needed to be successful in business, I never learned them.
Right.
So, you know, not long ago I went to my son's school hosting a career, and I said, wow, that's a great idea. Could I help out by, you know, setting up a booth and talking to those entrepreneurial types who may want a little bit of information about how to set up a small business? And I was told in no uncertain terms that they don't encourage that because so many businesses fail that they would really rather kids talk to professionals and other career tracks and trades, you know, where kids could go and get a good job. And it just broke my heart that not only were they not teaching business basics, but they were discouraging kids from even thinking about, you know, hanging up their own shingle. Oh, that would just be a road to heartache. And it is because they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to read financial reports, don't know how to make decisions based on the numbers and on, you know, if you use the financial reports to make good decisions in business, you're a lot more likely to succeed. And these are some of the basic things that I learned the hard way from my own small business. That's why I like to get on the soapbox and preach about business, because it can be so fabulous, but the basics just are not available and are certainly not being taught.
Well, okay, you sort of touched upon there. How, you know, what makes you the one who does get up on the soapbox and preach about this? Why are you the expert on this now?
I guess because I just learned this lesson, and it was such a hard, thumping lesson that I want to make it easier for people. But I got sucked into my family business. My husband's partner died, and it was tragic. This fellow at age 33 actually worked himself into health problems because of stress from business, and he died. Worked a 70-hour work week, and I mean, you think about, gosh, it's not worth it. That certainly went through my mind. You know, why would you kill yourself over your small business? I had a career at the time as a restaurant manager, and I had a good job, good benefits, vacations, the whole bit. My husband turned to me and asked if I would help in the family business, and I said, sure, you know, how hard could that be? I'm a smart chick, got the degree in business administration, had been an expert in management for a few years. I thought it would be easy, and it sucked. It was terrible. It was awful, and we fought all the time about money. The money just wasn't there. And it started to dawn on me, if I'm so smart, you know, and I couldn't figure out this small business thing, was I the only one? I would look around in the industry that we were in, plumbing and heating. I thought plumbers were supposed to make a lot of money, you know. That was my impression. Man, we weren't making any money. Blessedly, and I recommend this if you do want to take the path to become a business person, blessedly I found a mentor, and I hope you find one. Those of you who are listening and want to get into this, this can be a real shortcut to learning a lot that will help you. I found a great guy. He's 71 years old, and he's a plumbing contractor, and he taught me how to report. I wish it were sexier than that, but the good news is it was really that simple. He taught me that the financial reports were the scorecards for the game of business. So you set up your business, you keep track of the money, that's your score. You do things to make the score better, and if the score is bad, then you change your behaviors, you change your approach. Many times, most times in small business, what has to happen is that folks have to raise their prices. Right? And so I learned these lessons, and from the minute I figured out how to read financial statements, we started to make money, and it was that simple, and it just dawned on me, oh my gosh, if I don't know this, who does? And I went to the library to try and find some, you know, real dumbed-down books on a balance sheet, income statement, all this stuff, and most of it was written way over my head. And again, as I understand this, I bet there are a lot of folks who don't too. So that's why I wrote my 2 books. I wouldn't have written them if I could have found books like this to really help me on the way. But may I mention my book?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, if you're interested in starting your business, or if you want to get your small business profitable finally, my books are great resources. And they're called Where Did the Money Go? And the second one's called How Much Should I Charge? So these are very appropriate questions for small business owners. But once you get the financial reports handled, and once you come up with the selling price that'll float the boat, man, business can be so much fun, and it's a much more realistic and powerful way to create millions in your life, if that's what you really aspire to.
So here are the books for you. How much should I charge? And where did the money? They're simple. You can just work. They're like workbooks. You can just work through them. You know, learn how to do the basics of the business. So it looks to be a pretty good opportunity. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be speaking with C. Leslie Charles, the author of a book about me, I think. We'll be back right after this.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Curly Tires. Curly is located on Greenville Avenue Extension in Clarion. They offer a wide variety of tires to meet your car or truck needs. Curly Tire is open Monday through Saturday. Call 226-6657. That's Curly Tire. Phone 226-6657.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Timberland's Restaurant. The Timberland's Restaurant is located near Interstate 80, Route 68 in the Holiday Inn. The Timberland's Restaurant is open daily 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and from 4 to 10 p.m. Call 226-8850.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Pizza Pub. The Pizza Pub is located at 1306 East Main Street in Clarion and offers radio dispatch delivery. Call 226-8781. The Pizza Pub is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone them at 226-8721. When other stations are showing their boring programming, only one station is bringing news coverage closer to home.
Now a story you'll hear first on 5.
Every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m., join the area's news leader, 5 News. Tune in for the latest in local, regional, state, and national news. Plus our newspaper exchange partner, the Clarion News, teaming up to bring news coverage closer to home. Every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m.
Welcome back to Feedback. I'm Mark Despotakis. A couple months ago, I was reading an article done by the Washington Post, and they were talking about this book, Why is Everyone So Cranky? And I read the article, and they list these 10 signs of that you're cranky, or, you know, these things are not good for you. I matched about 8 of the 10. I tell you what, I ran to our producer, and I said, we have to get this on the show. And so joining us on the phone today is C. Leslie Charles, the author of the book, Why is Everyone So Cranky? Leslie, thanks for joining us. Let's start off. Could you tell us what some of these signs are that make us cranky?
Well, the first of the 10 trends that are making people cranky is compressed time. And I put that first of the 10 trends because that seems to be the one that most people can relate to. In fact, it's become part of our greetings. We don't even say, when we say, hi, how have you been anymore, we don't even say things like fine or lousy. Guess what we say? Busy. Like, time has become this precious commodity, and people are always telling me I don't have enough time anymore, and yet we still have 168 hours a week, as we always have.
Mm-hmm.
But we are moving faster. We are expected to do more, and in the short amount of time that we have, and consequently, most of us feel behind the 8 ball anymore. I call it just in time living. And I live in Lansing, Michigan, the Lansing area, and we're in General Motors territory, and they've gone to an inventory management called just in time, but that seems to be the way we're living.
True, very true.
Yeah, I mean, I have just enough time to make it to work if the traffic's
That's
okay.
right.
I've got just enough time to run into the store and get this if no one is in the express lane and blah, blah, blah. And we just don't have much of a leisurely lifestyle anymore.
The next one was the one that actually caught me is, oh my gosh, this is me totally, the communications overload.
And part of that is what you're doing for a living, right?
Right.
But communication overload isn't just for those who work in the media. It's also that most of us have this pile of things that we mean to get to, like magazines and memos and so on and so forth. But think about the impact when so many people in our life, their job is to pump out information. How can the rest of us possibly keep up?
Right.
And a little piece of the communication overload also, which I think needs to be another book, is the increasing commercialism of our world. I just had the insight the other day. I worked with teachers, and I realized children look at the world through the eyes of a consumer. That's the one most probably clearly defined role that kids have today, is as a consumer. And there seems to be pressures of the haves and the have-nots, who has the most, and peer pressure, as well as I want to have this because everybody else does too. You take a child to a fast food restaurant, even a little child who's just out of diapers, they are brand savvy, and it isn't just food they're getting, it's also a reward.
Mm-hmm. True. Good point.
Yeah.
Like I said, I realize that I'm a lot of these things. So once I realize it, and I guess I've been accused of being cranky on more than one occasion, what can I do about it?
Well, the first thing you have to realize is, where is your crankiness coming from? Now, we've just the type of iceberg, Mark, because we've only talked about 2 of these, and there are 10
right.
having an influence on our lives without our knowing it. So the first thing we need to understand is, where is my crankiness coming from? So that's why in the book, in Why is Everyone So Cranky, there are 10 cranky quizzes that people can take to figure out which one of these trends is most creating my crankiness. After that, we need to exercise a series of self-disciplines. The first one being, even if you feel like you don't have enough time, slow down anyway. I am living proof that this works. Since writing the book, I don't hurry. the same way anymore. I do what I now call non-frantic hurrying, if that makes sense. In other words, I'm not rushing. I'm not breaking things and running and speeding and going faster than the speed limit or anything like that. I've just learned to be more efficient. And if someone gets in my way and they're driving more slowly than I am, for example, I deal with it. So sort of peace of mind while you are trying to get everything done is a piece of it, but also self-awareness, just knowing when you start kind of pushing yourself over the edge. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, but it's hard.
Yes, it's hard, and you know why? Because we've taught ourselves how to lead a cranky lifestyle.
That's true.
We know how to make crankiness. What we need to do is learn how to make composure.
Well, what led you to write this book? I mean, because it's something that all of us complain about, obviously, but I mean, obviously, I'm guessing you maybe were busy and were forced to write the book.
Well, I'm a workplace consultant and a speaker, professional speaker. I do seminars and workshops and speeches for a living. And the reason I wrote this book was because people were telling me, I hate my job. I'm happy more in my personal life as well. My spouse and I don't speak. I don't have enough time to exercise. And I was getting all of these complaints. People are driving me crazy. And I thought, what is going on? So I started looking around and observing our society. And these 10 trends began. But it was a slow evolution. It wasn't anything that happened overnight. It's almost, if you like a good mystery, it's like reading a good mystery and beginning to see those clues out there in our society. And I feel like a sleuth, a social sleuth in some ways, to have found them.
Okay, so the book sounds great. We only discussed 2 of the 10. Where can I find the book?
Look in bookstores. It's also on Amazon. If someone goes on Amazon and just types in Cranky, that's the first book that will come up.
Oh.
Or they can visit www.whyiseveryone.com.
And do you have any parting thoughts for us today?
Yes, I do. And it's what you talked about. Yes, that's hard, but if we have the right attitude, we can make things work. It isn't the big things in life that make us cranky, it's the little things, and that's what this book is all about. Other people can ruin your moment, but you can ruin your day.
That's a good quote. Leslie, thanks for joining us. This is actually going to be aired on television. All right, thank you, Leslie, once again for joining us. The book, Why Is Everyone So Cranky? Like I said, it looks to be like a biography of me. And as you can tell from the end there, that was a pre-recorded interview. But that's all right. It was still very useful. A lot of good information from that. We'll take a break and be right back after this on Feedback.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by the Carpet Barn. The Carpet Barn is located at 470 South 5th Avenue in Clarion. The Carpet Barn is open Monday through Saturday for all your carpet needs. So call the Carpet Barn, 226-7332.
Getting out from the crowd is easy when you stop in at Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall. Whether you're looking for junior trendy, girls, or fashion for women, they have it all with many different styles. With our newly expanded shoe and accessory department, you're surely to find that special touch to enhance that new outfit. And if you have a fashion question, our experts are here to help. That's Fashion Bug, located in the Clarion Mall, just off Exit 9 of Interstate 80. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sunday from noon till 5.
This portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Fox's Pizza Den. Fox's Pizza Den is located on Old Route 66 in Clarion and offers all-day delivery. Phone 226-5555. That's 226-5555. Fox's Pizza Den is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Phone 226-5555.
Portion of the programming was made possible through a grant by Mulligan's Lounge. Mulligan's Lounge is located near I-80 and Route 68 in the Holiday Inn. Mulligan's Lounge is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Call 226-8850.
Welcome back. With like 2 minutes left, and I'm in a little bit of a conundrum here. I have like nothing to talk about. So, did anybody see the Oscars on Sunday night? I unfortunately did. I'm not real big into these awards shows. I think they're just arbitrary votes for, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess the people who win them, that's like an honor for them, but I have no desire really to watch it. Well, I had no choice. It was on, and so we're watching it. And I saw that the movie that won Best Movie was American Beauty. Now, I don't go and see a lot of movies. Because I don't know. They just don't interest me. Well, anyway, I did actually go and see this one. And when I left the theater, you know, I went to the booth to see if I could get my money back, and they wouldn't give it to me because I really thought it was a pretty dumb movie. I guess, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. I guess it's rave reviews, and the audience loved it, and that's sometimes something that doesn't always happen. You know, the critics and the audience love it. But I guess it was pretty popular. I thought it was really silly. The storylines in there were just absurd, I thought. But I walked out of the theater, and I was actually a little bit confused at the end of it, like, what was the point of this? And I went with 3 people, and 2 of them walked out and said, "That was such a great movie. I loved that movie. I'm so glad we came to see that." And I was just sort of like, okay, really? That's very strange. I thought it was a very strange movie. So, but it won, I guess. Best Picture won. It won a couple other things. I really didn't see any other movies. Like I said, I saw 3 movies this year. I saw, and listen to the great selection: American Beauty, Election. You might not have heard of that. That was dumb. And this one I'm almost ashamed to say I saw. South Park. I saw the South Park movie, and it was like, that's another one I walked out and wanted my money back on. See, people drag me to movies. This is why I don't like to go to movies, because I end up seeing all the stupid ones. I just have that good luck, so. Anyway, all right, so I guess we're about out of time. I just thought you'd like to know what I thought of the Oscars. Not that I enjoy really watching them, because they go on forever, and then I can't watch the news at 11 o'clock. So, the news is next. Stay tuned for that, and next Tuesday night, we'll be back to the Borough Council, but you can join us next Wednesday night. We'll see ya. Have a good week.